Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I predict that we will have some arrests or accidents or plainly put assassinations in Ukraine. And there will be three main guys that are the candidates for this kind of events. Vitaly Klitschko, who is the mayor of Kiev, Valery Zaluzny, the General Valery Zaluzny, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, and Weasel Zelenskyy. These three things. That would happen possibly in the next week, maximum 2 weeks. Or we will have very, very rough verbal spat between the three of them, which is Zaluzny, Klitschko, Zelensky, plus Yermak, plus whomever his team is. What happened? You haven't heard, I guarantee you, anything about Klitschko, Vitaly Klitschko, the mayor of Kiev, in the past few months. He was low profile. Why? Because he was threatened mildly, or how should I put it, with subliminal messages by Zelensky, when he said that, remember, we have enough enemies from outside, we don't need enemies from within. Basically telling Klitschko, sit down, I'm gonna send my SBU, secret police, on you, and I will claim that you were cooperating with the Russians. That's my interpretation. It seems like Klitschko got back on his feet because I think he got activated by his masters. Yes, he has his masters, and those masters I think are from Germany. This I have a gut feeling. Why? I can't tell you right now, but I think that's what the case is. Zaluzny, I'm not sure who is Zaluzny's boss. I hope Ukrainian nation is Zaluzny's boss because he has the army. And I hope he's doing the right thing for his nation, not for Zelenskyy and the guys who make profits out of this war and channeled this war into happening and staying alive for almost 2 years. So what happened now? Klitschko comes out and has a little interview, and he made some very, very interesting claims. Accurate, but bold. That means probably he has some support from his masters. He's not by himself, that's for sure. If he's by himself, I would be surprised. Why? He would be arrested by now. Klitschko would have been arrested by now by the secret police sent by Zelensky, and he would be incarcerated, and we would find out that he cooperated with Putin himself in the middle of the night, like, hey, Vladimir, what are you wearing? The same tongues you on, remember? Okay. All right, now let's go to this article. Zelensky, this is according to the Telegraph, is losing popularity because of his mistakes. Oh my God, can Zelensky make mistakes? Said Mayor of Kiev, December 3rd, 2023, 2:11 p.m. This guy right here. So Volodymyr Zelensky's popularity is falling, and he will pay for his mistakes by eventually losing power. Zelensky, I don't think he's going to fight for it, my friends. The mayor of Kiev, Vitaly Klitschko, has said, in a startling rebuke of Ukraine's president, Mr. Klitschko told two interviewers that he considered Mr. Zelensky to be increasingly isolated and autocratic. He was like that for the past year and 5 months already. So let's say he wasn't in the first 3 months or 4 months of the war. And I'm quoting, people see who's effective and who is not. And there were and still are a lot of expectations. Zelensky is paying for his mistakes he has made. End quote. He said in an interview with a Swiss news website 20 minutes. Wow, this is another interview because I covered Klitschko's statements earlier today, and I think he was interviewed by, I think it was a German, was it Bild? Not Deutsche Welle. I can't remember, but it was a German tabloid, if I remember correctly. The former heavyweight boxing champion, who has been mayor of Kiev since 2014, is a political adversary of Mr. Zelensky, but Germany keeps him alive. But his comments reflect growing dissatisfaction with the president after 21 months of war and a failed NATO-backed counteroffensive. Support has fallen. Opinion polls in Ukraine have shown that both support for fighting against Russia and for Mr. Zelensky have fallen, although they are still above 60%. It's okay, he's still good. What Biden has in like 30 something or 40, so he's still good. Mr. Klitschko blamed Mr. Zelensky for ignoring warnings about the Russian invasion in February 2022, failures which he said nearly allowed the Russian army to capture Kiev. No, I think that's a weasel move, Klitschko. They were close to Kiev. If they wanted, they would have taken Kiev. That's my assessment. They retreated not because the mighty Ukrainian army pushed them, it's because the Russians, according to both sides, they retreated as a goodwill sign, because they said, okay, in Istanbul, we're going to have this, we're going to negotiate, okay, we're going to retreat, we're going to make peace. But the masters had other thoughts, and they sent their weasel over there, Mr. Boris Johnson, then the Prime Minister of Great Britain, used to be great, and you need to bring it back, my friends. You win it back to be great again. You're not great anymore. You used to be. You're still over there, but no. People wonder why we weren't better prepared for this war. Why Zelensky denied until the end that it would come to this. End quote. No. Klitschko, the Ukrainian, I'm not here to insult them. If I were to insult them, I would tell you this is because I'm going to insult motherfuckers. No, that's not the reason why I'm going to say this. The might of the Ukrainian army, I know, was shown until mid-February, March 2022. That was the might of the Ukrainian army. After that, it was NATO. Got that? So Zelensky in March 2022, he had a deal with the West, with the NATO and Americans, the sponsors and so on. Like, you give me everything or I stop fighting and I make a deal with Putin. That means I'm going to be on that side, not on your side. There was a blackmail, I suspect. And those guys said, no, we're going to keep fighting. We're going to keep fighting. We send the weasel, Boris Johnson, an idiot, Prime Minister of Great Britain. That's why I said you're not great anymore. You have idiots like that, like Liz Truss and like Sunak. What the fuck? Or like Cameron. And Blair was a war criminal, remember? So what the hell are you talking about? Where is the greatness? Half of your capital is foreign born. You got an Indian or Pakistani, whatever he is, Prime Minister Indian, and then the Mayor of London, again, a British guy, an English guy, or whatever, a Welsh guy, right? A Scot, an Irish, yeah? What are you talking about? Why don't you face reality? And you want to win what? The World Cup in football? You will not win it. Well, we're good. Look what our teams are doing in Champions League and all that. Yeah? Why don't you go and look down on the list and see who are the managers and who are the players? How many British play in those teams? Take, let's say, Manchester City. Yeah, Guardiola, yeah, Haaland, okay, and got mainly what? You got maybe one guy over there, two guys that are really, really bold. And that's what's his name is, that young guy that now took over after the guy, the Turk, went to Barcelona. I can't remember his name. Anyway, you got what, 2 or 3 in a whole team? The rest is what? Outsiders, foreigners. What are you talking about? The same with, you want to go to Liverpool? You got what? The Egyptian, what's his name? I can't remember his name right now. And not only, everywhere. And who's the trainer over there? The German? I mean, please, my friends, not all, that was a wrong term. These guys, they have foreigners. You're owned. Anyway, let's move on. It doesn't mean that's bad, but that's not Great Britain. That's great something else. And not even great. Don't be upset with me. Face reality. Everything I said is true. So if you're upset, I don't give a fuck. That's reality. Smack yourself, smack your head on against the mirror after you see your face, and then say, yes, I have to bring back Great Britain. Not like that. Sorry for this little tantrum. But, I'm very angry with this kind of situation. You're losing it. If this population of Great Britain would have to fight Hitler, you would have bent over, take your pants off a long time ago. That's my assessment. All right. Mr. Zelensky opponents have turned up the volume in recent weeks, accusing him of mishandling the counteroffensive, failing to stamp out corruption, dodging a presidential election scheduled for March, and losing international political goodwill. Time to end the war. Well. Mr. Zelensky has pledged never to negotiate. You're going to be out. You're going to be out. Someone else is going to do it for you. Don't worry about it. Zelensky comments, it's a standstill, whatever they call it. I can't remember the word he said. Maybe I find it here. Zelensky became stalemate. That's what it is. Sometimes people just don't want to hear the truth, Mr. Klitschko said. Yes, sometimes people just don't want. They live in denial. While Mr. Klitschko said that Mr. Zelensky would ultimately lose power, he clarified it was important not to switch presidents while Ukraine was still at war with Russia. The president has an important function today, he said. Well, he can't be so blunt, he's not, he's protected now. But it doesn't mean that Zelensky is not going to go roguer. And as I said, expect Zelensky and Klitschko, one of these guys, a car would blow up, someone is going to be poisoned, someone is going to be arrested, someone is just going to be shot in something. How should I put it? I'm waiting in the past, in the next 2 weeks, something like this to occur. Not that I'm waiting like, oh my God, I'm waiting that's going to happen. I predicted. What do you think? Zelensky is going to go by himself? Unless the Americans come and pick him up and get him out. Or tell him and say, you know what, we're going to pick you up. You get out now or on your own, or we're going to take you out. But they're going to put another clown. I hope that is not going to be the case. And I hope that Zelensky, or maybe, I don't want Klitschko, because Klitschko is, I clearly feel that based on evidence that I have, that Klitschko is not working for Ukraine. He works for someone else, and if he gets elected or something, he's going to continue that. The problem is, if the Russians were going to get the power, then Klitschko, I think, is going to be out, and Zelensky out. I don't know who's going to be in place. Putin? Maybe Medvedev. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.